So this is your very own Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. And I'm trying to learn something and inviting you to come and to learn it with me. Now, I don't really expect anybody to actually follow this along because I'm not that good at it. And I'm trying to piece it together. So this is a different siddur. This is the siddur I changed from the Rechovos NAHAR, which is Sephardi, to what they call it. They call this NEKUDOT HAKESEF, which is Nusach Sfard. It's Hasidish. This Rabbi Bing, I have the name of his yeshiva in Bnei Brak. So he's in the NEKUDOT HAKESEF series. He has just like a 6 or 7 volume set of the prayers of that are prescribed to the RASHASH. But these are different nusachs. The nusach is different. So therefore, here, right away, the first thing we're going to come to is a Gavana. We did 100 brachos yesterday, and how we added up a different way, so we come to the number 100. And now we're on Gavanas NETILAT YADAYIM the Shachris. The first thing we're going to do is get up and wash our hands. So we're trying to understand the RASHASH, try to be able to read it enough that we can get some kind of a grip in the world he's at. So we're just waking up in the morning, and it's morning time. Morning time is the time of Chesed. So let's what he says. V'yito yoda b'mei Chesed. With these waters of Chesed, water is analogized to Chesed. B'chaser zuchamas hakali, to remove the poison of the kali. That have now a hold of these 5 gevuros mansapach. Kafulos, these are the 5 double letters. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, and there are 5 double letters, make a total of 27. Mansapach kafulos shenizgalos be'eser etzbaos, which are revealed, these mansapach, on the 5 fingers. Etzbaos yadei of the hands of Zer Anpin Dasia. Remember that we like to do things backwards. Try to understand. We are trying to reach these 5 gevuros, the double gevuros, which are on the hands of Zer Anpin. Now this is Olam Atzilus. As we do it down here in Olam Asiyah, it has an effect in Zer Anpin. So the Klalos Maisa on the Tilo, and when we talk about just in general, is going to get a little bit thick here. The Maisa, the Maisa on the Tilo, we talk about what it talks about to actually wash your hands or clean your hands. Yakaven the Hafrid Aklipos Mehaparmen Partsufin, that what you're trying to do is to separate the klipos from the partsufim hachitzonim, from the very most outer part of the zun, the asiyah, of the zun of this world. So here we are in this world. I guess maybe he means this world. V'yakaven the vara, and the rest of it is that you're going to begin a mining out process, a birur process, to try to find the gem that's covered over by the kali. V'yakaven the vara b'merur v'chelak ha'kelim, a portion of the broken kalim, Machelke oros the rapach, and there were, which we said before, there were 4 different combinations of letters that produced the number 72. 4 times 72 is 288. Now, I really could deserve to really or want to get more into why the number is 288, but he says it's because of this number 42. 72, which is Av. There's an Av which is just a straight. There's a. Well, we're not going to get into that now. Oh, Mechelke Oros the Rapach, the parts of Chitzon on the very outer parts of. So he says the outside of their anpin is covered in the parts of 10 spheros also. The zun, the chasiya, the tzilos of the zun of a siya, the siya of a tzilos, the siya tachtoina. So all of the hidden worlds have their own abiyah, a tzilos, bri, tzir, and a siya. So here we're talking about which one? We're talking about the siya tachtoina, that's us, and the zun of the siya, the tzilos, because they're equivalent. What's going on in one is going on in the other, but the manifestation is different. That in our world, everything is very physical, and there we're talking about mostly letters. The Kalim Chitzonim, the Malachim, the Atik, Ve'erek Anpen. So he says, because we're looking, the Kalim, the outside Kalim, of the Malachim who broke and died. Those are the Malachim that will eventually be reincarnated or repositioned in Atik, Ereganpen, Abba Ve'ima Bezun. Hanasunim Ba'asiya, that are all now in Asiya. Now that part right there, he said that are now in Asiya, and try to pull them up. We are in Asiya washing our hands. V'alosam im nafsho, and to elevate them. This is nafsho or nafsheno, in to elevate our souls, l'over mad uman, to arouse mad uman. Now the arousal is the man, because you're thinking right there, I'm down here in the filth of Olam Asiya, and my hands have been in Tuma. I'm going to wash them off, and when I do that, it's an offering to you, Hashem. And as a result of that, you get Mayim Dochrin, you get a blessing coming back to the Kelim Gitzonim. To where is this blessing going? To the Kelim Gitzonim, the outside Kelim of the parts of Kol Keser, Chesed, Keser, Chochma, Bina, and Das, the Atik, Ve'erek Anpin, Va'abba Ve'ina V'zun, of the Olam Atzilos, the Asiya, the Chitzah, the Atzilos. See, what I'm thinking is that what you have is templates, that is the beginning of formations, which will ultimately lead to physical reality, and templates within templates, because all of them have different qualities. And the way of growth has to be that the inner, which we said before, the inner essence has to come up and cover over the outer essence of what's up above it, which makes it. Remember that we had this concept of the panemius, the chitzonis, the chitzonis, the panemius, different kinds of acts. Well, they have aspects and aspects and aspects, that they all are duplications in many different ways. It's just their positioning in towards the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu is closer or further. So then, the Ba'ava Ve'im of Zun, the Sila Tzilus. So there, in other words, this is the template for Asiya, is in Atzilus. Hamaluvashim B'Partzufim Shekaneg Dachal B'Chasiya, which are now going to be maluvish, all of this shefa that we're talking about. I don't know which shefa that's coming as a result of washing your hands and bringing this chesed and removing this. So it's to bring them into the partzufim shenegdam b'chatzia, ultimately to bring this down to us. Now that's a big thing. What he said like this is that we are, when we wake up in the morning, we're on the outside of spirituality, the outside of the outside, like that. By taking the water of chesed, we are bringing that into a different dimension where we can bring the same chesed into the world of, he says, of what? Of Asiya, which is the world of action, of Olam Atzilus, the template for the world that we live in. That's my understanding. Okay, so. Vaz Yakabin Lezav Koch Bad Hanaz, the Atik. Then you should have this idea. To bring together the Keser, Chochma, Bin, and Das, that we talked about, that each of these partzufim, the partzuf of Atik, the partzuf of Erik Anpin, the partzuf of Abba Ve'ima V'zun, going all the way down to the line for the next stage of delivery, The sakin kitsansa berurim is to be able to rebuild a little bit of the berurim that we mentioned before. That by washing the hands, don't forget that you're also removing some kedusha from the hold of the kali. And now you're going to cause them to become mochim pnimim, stream them through, which is also mochim pnimim, are also known as the tzadi tzalim. So we're going to bring we're bringing all of this down into the worlds of Asiya, Seed of Atzilus, and then as a result of that, all of the Asiyas until you get to the Asiya of Asiya. Im Esrim Havayos, and you're going to incorporate it with 20 different Havayos, the Ekya and an Ekya. So we're going to have to see that. We're going to see that tomorrow, Metz Hashem. Munukados, Shehem Neranchi de Nefesh, which is all the 5 lights of the light called Nefesh. And then the Ruach, the Nefesh of the parts of which is called the Ner, Ruach, which is from the word Ruach, and the second letter from each one of these 2 words is Ner, which is a parts of the Nefesh. So he says the Ruach, the Nefesh, it's the Ruach of the Nefesh, the Ma Ben, but both from the male side and from the female side. Now that was a real mouthful for me. I haven't seen this lately. It's the Neranchi de Nefesh. What is the Neranchi de Nefesh? We're going to bring this shefa, this Mucha, the Mucha B'dim B'ditzalta, the 7 Im Esrim Havayos for Ekya. We're going to have a 20 Havayos in Ekya. We're going to see them on the next page. Manukados, and each one of them, although it's not exactly, they don't have a Nikud over there, so I don't know for sure for that what is over there. What are this Ekya and Manukados? Well, they represent the Neranchi, the Nefesh, the Ruach, the Nefesh, the Ma'uben. So we're dealing with Ma'uben, we're dealing with the Nefesh. You just go really deep into the light. And the Ruach Nefesh, the Nefesh of the Ruach Nefesh combo. Now, this is the RASHASH. The parts of Chitzon, it goes to the outer parts of the Zun, the Asiya, the Atzilos, the Asiya Tachtoina, Shehem Yud Sirufim, the Yud Aleph, the Yud Beis, Shemos Elokim. Now, what this is, how many different names of Elokim we're talking about is usually 120. So what this is about, I don't have a clue. Let me read it again. So we're going to take all of this, we're going to go through this Nefesh, Neranchi the Nefesh, the Ruach, the Nefesh, the Ma'u Ben. We're going to send that to the parts of Chitzon de Zun, the Asiya de Tzilus, the Asiya de Tachtoina. So we're going to send it, the idea is that we're taking this shefa that's coming from this pouring of the water, and we're going to send it into to the bottom of the upper world, which is the Asiya of Tzilus, and in our world. Shehem Yud Sirufim, which he says there are 10 Sirufim, V'Yud Aleph, V'Yud Beis, Shemos Elokim. So which ones that is? He says that is the shefa, that's what they look like, and I don't have an example of that right now. One more little piece for today, and tomorrow we're going to start looking at the kavanas of the water itself. This is all new to me, as I know the Rechovos of NAHAR better, but although I never really did the beginnings, not really. So he said, "V'ko ya'ase yikaven ki hu dugmas klalos kol hatzilos kula." So you should do like this. This should be your kavana, that you're going to bring all of this shefa, the shefa, the mayim. You're going to bring it to the Kitzonis, as it sounds like to me, of these different partsufim, and try to keep track of why one partsuf is why we're dealing with these partsufim. Ken ya'asa yakaven ki hu dugmas klalos kol atzilos kulo. So this is really the same thing. That's what I think he means. Dogmas, it's similar to the general reality of all of Atzilus. So here we go to the Gavanas and the Hanatla. Now that's not the word Netila, which I liked. It's not that word. Hanatla means the one who's pouring. That's what I think it means, but he could say something else. V'yikach biyado yamanis. Take your right hand. That's a kli. The kli, he says, is called shenikra anto. The kli is called that, which we know is the word letters of al netilas yadayim. No, actually, it's ila yadayim. It's not exactly right. It's not yadayim. Should be a yud there, and if it was the way I said it, so it's shenik. The kli he sells is called anto, and the gematria of the word anto is the same gematria as the combination, which is I think Havaya Adni, which is 96. I think Havaya 26 plus 65, 91. Which is a volume of 91. Shem Gufa, the Ner, which is the body. Now he has a partzaf, I'm thinking that he's called Nefesh Ruach. So Nefesh Ruach is Zer Anpin. So Nefesh Ruach represents Zer Anpin, and the Nukva is Zer Anpin. Actually, it's Zun. V'hem Vok, and they are in fact Vok. Shem B'Bechinas Kalim. There's a Vok that is Vok, which is Zer Anpin, Chesed Gevur Teferes Netzach Hod Yisod. Shehem B'Bechinas Kalim, because they are the Kalim, the Kol Prat of every detail. Berik HaOrah Shebesochim, in relationship to the lights that are in them, which are what? Are the lights that should be in them, are the lights of the Neshama Chaim Yechida. So let's just compare something for a minute. He said Ner is a part of the Naranchi, right? That's the first part. It's Nefesh Ruach, then it goes Neshama Chaim Yechida. So what we want to say is that into this Ner, the Ner, like Kalim, it's Zachar B'Nuk, because ultimately what we want to have is this enters into the Nuk, and it's Matayr the whole relationship, and it becomes into oneness. What's going to go inside of it is going to be the Nachi, because the Nachi represents the Mochin, the greater Mochin that we need to bring in, to be able to cleanse. That's what he said, to cleanse Zun, to cleanse our world, to cleanse us. Well, this is your very own Saba speaking here at the Tikkun Elevator Kol Al.